how hard are you willing to try at something? Like if something's going to be 50% more difficult than you thought, are you going to do it or are you going to give up?
You know, the older I get in life, the older I get, the more that it's not about trying hard, but it's what am I going to try hard at? Like, am I going to try hard at work every day? I don't know, but I'm going to try to be a good dad every day. Like, I'm going to try to give 185% to that.
It's not possible to give more than 100%.
Well,
God, that one thing threw you completely off. It's not possible to give more than 100%. Just shut the whole thing down, huh?
No, I kind of stand by I think people give to what they want to give. And I know that sounds really simple, but think about your day. Maybe not your day, because I feel like you have the perfect life. But think about a normal person's day. How much of their day is spent doing something where they don't really want to do it, but they have to because it's a societal norm, or they need money because they have a family, so they have to work, etc. That's what I meant.
Oh, I think that it's not just a normal person's day. I think everybody's day is probably 90 to 95% stuff you don't really want to be doing. My other question, what do you think is the earliest you can call somebody?
Non-emergent or like...
Well, yeah, non-emergency, right? Like, it's not going to be like, oh my God, my wife is dying, but it's 7:30, so I'm going to wait till 8 o'clock to call her dad.
I guess. Let's see. 9 o'clock on a weekday, 10 o'clock on a weekend.
Oh, wow. What's it like to sleep in every day?
No, if it's not work-related.
I think you can call somebody at 8 o'clock. Just to call someone?
Yeah.
10 years. Maybe more than that. Call just to talk to somebody that's not a family member, just to call and chat it up.
Is this the part of the program where you owe me an apology?
No, it's not. I know what you're trying to get into. It's not the same thing.
I think you owe me an apology.
Because I don't have a landline.
So your text message to me that you have a landline is not correct.
Yes, it's not correct. I don't have a landline. I have something that's like voice over protocol. It goes to the internet. I'm not going to waste my money on a landline and pay tons of money like you are. I pay $6.99 a month, and it's actually pretty great because the kids can call home and you can call upstairs and be like, "Hey, do this for me."
But you have a landline then?
I don't. No, I don't.
So how do you
not have a landline? It's voice over protocol. It's a different thing. Wi-Fi is not the same thing as a local area network connection. I don't know what that really is. It's hardwired or whatever. It's not the same thing.
So for us that don't have any idea what you're saying, how does a voice over protocol work?
I have no idea.
Jesus.
I'm not an expert. I'm not a telecommunications engineer.
So it's a landline.
No, it's not a landline. It's voice over protocol. It hooks up to the internet, and it uses like the internet to do it. It doesn't use a landline. A landline is a landline. You have a landline, which is a waste of time and money and effort and should be gotten rid of. I have something that is completely different that provides me with a phone in the house that is just masterfully using technology.
Got it. Sure. Whatever you want to say. Welcome to the Landline Club.
I'm not in the Landline Club. It's not the same thing, right? Like, if you drive a Dodge Ram, you're not in the Jeep Club.
Sure. Yep.
They both have four wheels and are cars, but they're not the same thing.
I'm trying to find this message because I think that
because you want me in your group. You want me in the group.
You said, guess what? And then I said, you've got a little wiener, question mark?
Oh, and then
you said, we got a landline.
I was incorrect. It's not a landline. It's completely different.
And then I even said, you mother effer, I need a public apology, meaning on this podcast, in which you said, I've been telling you to get a landline for years.
Oh, that was probably a typo. What I meant to say was, I would never get a landline.
I'll tell you what, you would be... Are you sure Washington doesn't need you right now? Because
I'm
you
way
would be
too
great
slippery.
in politics.
I'm way too slippery to fall into this trap. Right?
Yeah, you would be
getting off on the what is it, the schematics or semantics or something like that. I don't have a landline. Only a fool would have a landline when voice over protocol exists, which is what I have.
You're right. Even though you admitted it twice there, I must have misread your. It's my fault. I was
incorrect. Have you ever been wrong in your life?
Maybe.
Right.
Anyways.
Yeah, I don't have a landline, so you continue to be the only sap in Michigan who has a landline.
By the way, several people who like me and listen to this podcast thought that my minivan story was hilarious, and I just want you to know that they emailed us a copy of our signed documents at the dealership, and my smiley face is fantastic as always. So,
how is life with the minivan?
I don't know. I don't get to drive it.
Oh, you don't even get to drive it? Wait a minute. Will you sit in the passenger seat of the car while your wife drives?
I have. I'm predominantly the driver, though. It's probably like 95-5.
Okay. Wow.
Oh, what? Are you 100-0?
99-1 is the only acceptable answer. The only time I have not driven, because I view it as like, no, it's the guy's job to drive. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to drive the car. That's how you're supposed to be raised, to be a chivalrous man.
I do.
And the only time I've not driven was I literally had a broken leg. Physically
my wife's never
incapable.
cleaned a toilet. She's never taken out the garbage. That's what I'm here for. Oh. Are we ready for some shout-outs?
Yeah.
These people aren't wrong. They probably all have landlines, too.
I bet nobody has a landline. Do you actually know anybody else with a landline?
Yes.
Who? Your grandfather?
My parents.
Anyone under the age of 97?
No. But I guarantee you, Rusty Morrison probably has a landline.
Somebody named Rusty. You don't see a lot of Rusties. That's a name that should be used more often.
Or Spencer Cooley. Marcy Anderson.
Marcy's a good name. I like a Marcy.
Frankie Miller seems like a guy that's probably has a landline.
There is a definite hierarchy of the Frank related names. Frank, going to be funner than Fred, but Fred's going to be a little quirky. Frankie is probably the funnest of the Frank related names.
I think Franklin is the best.
I have a whole thing about people who they go by like the full version of their name. Mm-hmm. Generally always kind of like, oh, you're a little bit of a stick in the mud. Isn't that right, Jonathan?
You got it, Nicholas.
Did you ever go through I want to be called Jonathan? Did you ever go through a Jonathan phase?
Actually, somebody asked me this the other day. They go, why doesn't anyone ever call you John? And I'm like, no one ever has called me John. It's usually Shull.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Mine's about 50-50. I would say, so you feel like you've always been a last name person.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm like 50-50. Some people will call me VinZant and some people will call me Nick. Mine's been pretty 50-50 throughout my life. I've never been predominantly first or last name.
Kind of like a lot of things in your life, huh? Can't figure out what's going on. All right. Carrie Ellison, Rose Love, Troy McKinney, Kristen Montoya, and Fausto Carroll.
Okay. Fausto? I like Fausto.
Hell yeah. Do you know what time it is?
No, it's not that time. I know that. You're always jumping the gun.
Fine.
You always jump the gun on Candle of the Month.
I have kind of it's not really a news segment, but it's at least an organized-ish segment.
All right. Nice job on episode 300-something. Finally pulling this together. Right, Mr. I try my best. all the time.
I wouldn't say that. So I basically just came up with a few questions, and I just want you to pick the answer that you think is best. So we'll start with an easy one here.
Are these quiz related? Like, are you testing my knowledge or testing my personality?
Personality.
Okay.
And hey, if anyone out there wants to chime in and let us know your answers, I'm curious because I spent at least 20 seconds per question.
Ooh, it's a lot of effort. I like it.
All right, we'll start off with an easy one. What's more impressive to you? Being able to bench 400 pounds or being able to squat 400 pounds?
Oh, I think leg strength. I'm a firm believer in that leg strength is one of the determining factors of people's lives. Always go with legs. I think that benching 400 is harder than squatting 400, but look, legs is effort, man. You got to put in effort at the gym. So anything with legs is going to win.
All right. Which one are you more likely to have in your life? Fruit cocktail cake or fruit leather?
I don't know what fruit leather is.
It's basically think of a longer rectangle, and it's like pomegranate berry, but it looks like a belt, like a leather belt.
You mean like
It's
a fruit
thin as
roll-up?
Nope.
Like a fancy fruit roll-up.
How have you never had fruit leather?
I'm a normal person who doesn't have a landline.
No, you do. You admitted it.
No, I don't. It's not the same thing. You need to just accept the fact that I don't have a landline and move past this.
I just don't understand why you keep denying it. Like I don't. Let's see. I'm
It's
bringing
not
up
true.
fruit leather.
It's not
true. Next thing you're going to be telling me that you bought a van, but it's not a minivan.
I wouldn't buy a van.
Well, I can only find like fancy.
I would say, like, I would guess, I don't know really what a fruit cocktail cake is. I don't know what either of those things are, but I would lean towards the cake. Whenever I've looked at those kind of like a fruit roll-up, I'm like, nah, I'd rather have cake.
Let's see. I'm trying to bring up a picture of fruit leather
It's like
for you.
fruit jerky.
Yeah, essentially. Let's see.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would rather have cake.
Well, I'll have my Aunt Marge bring you her fruit cocktail cake that she's been bringing to Thanksgiving since the 70s.
I've never even heard of it. Maybe it's the same cake.
Let's see. This has been back in the limelight because of Jimmy Kimmel, but when's the last time you watched late night television, like one of the talk shows?
Actually, like, watched it, not just seen a clip on social media. I don't know if I've honestly ever watched it. I can't honestly tell you if I ever have, like, sat down and watched a show. I really don't think ever. I mean, maybe when I was a little kid, like watching TV when I was supposed to be in bed. Like growing up in my house, there was a way you could kind of like sneak out of your room and see the TV from where you like lay down in the hallway and watch the TV, what your parents were watching. But I don't think that I've ever watched late night television. Not Saturday Night Live, not any of it.
Okay. All right. What, say you're passed out at a bar, what song's going to make you get up and get you back into the groove of things quicker? God Bless the USA or Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue by Toby Keith?
I guess God Bless the USA.
I don't know why. That just seemed like a funny question to me. I don't know.
Oh, are these like all part of some quiz? Like, is this leading to somewhere, or are these just random questions?
These are random questions that I jotted down the last 2 days or so. Like,
you've just been thinking about it.
I've been thinking about you on a constant basis.
That's good. I mean, honestly, if I'm passed out, like, I'm not getting up. When I go down, I go down. Like, there's no stand and 8 count. It's just over.
Do you know that when did we meet? 2011?
Probably. Yeah, right around there.
Our friendship is blossoming. We are like a flower. We are just blooming as we get older.
14 years. That's a long time.
And it all started with a baked potato. Imagine that. and which I paid for, by the way.
Well, you should. You broke it.
Yeah,
Don't
because you
take
told
credit
me
for stuff you're supposed to do.
Listen, I'm
Do you
just
have
happy
any more
for
questions?
anyone out there trying to pursue their dreams. You have at it, because life sucks. Life's gonna beat you down.
Oh yeah, you got to do it. Yeah, I'm a firm believer of the idea that you don't have to be good at something to enjoy doing it.
You don't even have to be good at anything to even get anything.
Yeah, not really. Yeah, that's true too. You don't
All you
really
gotta
have to
do
be
is-
good at something to be successful at it. I mean,
This
look
is
at
another-
pretty much every manager everybody's ever had.
This is another topic for another day. But nepotism is dumb to me. You know what I mean? It's just, why couldn't I have been born into a rich family and never do anything with my life?
This is back to my theory that pretty much your entire life is based on luck.
Ain't that the truth?
It really is. Your entire life, if you think about it one way or another, it kind of comes down to luck. Even the things that you would necessarily say, like, earned that, well, you probably got some of those qualities from the situation that you grew up in or found yourself in, and that has to deal with luck. It's a big struggle that I deal with in my life in the sense of, like, well, what did I really accomplish in life?
Are you having your midlife crisis yet?
No, but that's what I would say is something I think about a lot. What have any of us really done in life? Or was all of this kind of just like, yeah, you were always going to be in this position?
Yeah, I think everything's, it doesn't matter. Would you rather go to space or go to the bottom of the ocean?
Space. Waste my time with that shit.
Why? What's wrong with the bottom of the ocean?
I don't want to go to the bottom of the ocean. It sounds scary as hell. 12,000 feet or wherever far down it is. I think it's actually like farther than that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think it's like a lot. I think it's like 30,000 feet. 30,000 feet down in pure darkness. Hard.
I don't even think we've touched on, anything with the ocean. It's so friggin' huge.
Well, we mapped the whole thing. We had a guy on here who was a deep sea ocean explorer. Can't remember his name right off the top of my head, but that was one of his pet peeves to say that we know less about the bottom of the ocean. It's like, no, we actually know a lot about it. We kind of got it all. We don't have every single area mapped, but we know what it looks like.
Sure, because you can totally see down there. Let's see. Last one.
He understands how to use satellites.
I'm not trying to, good for him. He probably has a landline too. Let's see.
He
Well,
can't
you
hold
do.
his pee for 12 hours, though.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh, I was
I
like,
can't hold my pee. I'm not a big pee holder. As soon as I have to pee, pretty much my whole body shuts down. I can't do anything besides want to go pee.
I think I could probably hold it for a whole day. Like, we should try it someday. And if I do,
Why don't you start now? Chug that water.
you have to admit that you have a landline.
I don't. I would be lying if I did. I don't have a landline. You just
Getting
see.
angry.
This is the thing, John. You've got to be able to, when confronted with different information than you already thought, you've got to be able to change your perceptions of the world and admit when you might be wrong. Like, it's not a landline. You just got to let it go.
Okay.
It's not.
Okay.
You ready for your candle of the month, or are you going to pout? You going to pout?
I'm not pouting. You're wrong. I know it's a landline.
I'm not wrong. It's not a landline. It's voice
fine.
over internet protocol.
It's fine.
It's not
Sure.
the same thing as a landline. A landline plugs into like whatever the telephone company does. This plugs into the router. It's not the same thing.
Okay.
Are you ready for
I'm ready. Yes.
All right.
Let's do it.
Oh, yeah. Wait. You're waiting on me.
Jesus.
Oh, it's going. It's time. The outlaw candle connoisseur rides again. And by giving you the candle of the month, he admits that I don't have a landline. Oh, what are you going to do? This is like the hardest choice you've ever had to do in your life.
I can't let the two people down that rely on this information.
Right.
So
So thank you for admitting it.
I will stay professional and it's fine. I just want first I want the record to show I know what the difference between a landline and a VOP is. I do know that.
Then you should know that they're not the same thing.
They are not the same thing, but then
Thank you.
why were you so adamant
I was
That you-
wrong.
Okay.
I turned out to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong. You can just admit it. Nick, I know I want to make fun of you about the fact that you have a landline, but it turns out that you do not have a landline. Like, I can admit that I was wrong. Why can't you?
I would never, ever try to nail you on something like that. If you're wrong, it's fine.
Oh,
You
yeah,
have
I was
a
wrong.
landline.
I don't. No, I don't.
All right. Anyways, so Candle of the Month this month. From Goose Creek. I think I've featured them a couple times in the last few years. But I was gifted this, and I had all intents of bringing it down into the basement with me, except yesterday, as I was carrying it, I dropped it, and the glass broke, and I lost the candle. So in saying that, head over to goosecreek.com. Get the Trick or Treat 3-wick candle on sale.
3-wicker.
For $11. And it is everything that you want in a Halloween trick-or-treating night. You're going to get hints of caramel, apple, a little bit of sweetness. I like to think that's marshmallow. But then it's going to have pumpkin spice. It's going to have warmth. It's going to be like you're walking down your street when you were 5 years old trick-or-treating. Except this candle will burn for 20 to 40 hours and will provide all kinds of just great memories.
How did you just broke it?
No, I stepped, it's a long story, but we moved my dog's food and water dish to a different spot.
Big day, big day at the Shull household.
Not used to it. Kind of kicked it over, lost my balance, lost the candle, and here we are. But check it out, Goose Creek Trick or Treat 3-wick candle on sale for most of the month of October. Yeah.
Did you fall down?
That's it. No, I did not, but I kicked the shit out of my dog's water, which of course was just refilled.
Oh, God. That's the older you get, the more you just hate to have a mess. There's just more damn thing you got to take care of.
Well, and then of course I blame the dog, and it's like my dog had nothing to do with it, you know?
Yeah.
Like...
You deflect.
I don't deflect. How's your landline?
See?
Yeah, that was a deflection. Let's go into our top 5.
Can we just see if are there any new controversies in the candle connoisseur world? Any new hot topics in the candle forum?
No, I think I touched on this one last. It's pretty much the same thing. A lot of people, tariffs are still a thing, and also there's a couple of European companies that apparently are having some issues with America. So some wax distributors. There's a lot of like pro wax distributors on the candle forums that are wanting to know what the future of candles are.
Probably the same thing. I don't think that's really a technology that kind of evolves, right? Like we got that figured out.
Candles are going nowhere, so it doesn't matter.
No, they're not. What's been the latest big new candle technology that you were like, oh my God, this revolutionized candles?
Probably about a decade ago.
You have a fucking answer.
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's not how they make them, but it's self warmers, like Bluetooth self warmers, where you could literally be like,
Big.
Hey Google, turn on the candle, and then the candle, it'll get warm and blah 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 because of the warmer. So, anyways,
yeah, I mean, what's that save? 15, 20 seconds?
Sometimes 15 or 20 seconds can matter.
That's all you need, right? That's all you need.
It's all you need, Jelly Bean.
All right, are you ready for our top 5?
I've been trying to get there for 10 minutes.
So our top 5 is top 5 flavor combinations. Logan, ice cream. My son's like ice cream. It's not a flavor.
Ice cream. So my number 5 is something that I just discovered, and it's raspberries and dark chocolate.
I'm sorry, I was getting an update on homework. What did you say?
My number 5 is something that I just discovered, and it's raspberries and dark chocolate.
Ooh, very good. I don't know how you just discovered that. God, I wanted to make a joke, but you're not.
What? What's stopping you now?
I just have a hard time. God. I have a hard time believing that a man such as yourself has just discovered anything related to chocolate.
Oh yeah,
I thought you discovered it a long time ago.
No way, I don't eat a lot of chocolate, man. This is all meat. This is all.
Oh, is
meat.
it really? Oh, I'm such a sweets person.
I don't eat a lot of sweets. This is all meat.
American
meat.
Mostly sausage. A lot of sausage.
A lot of beef sticks. A lot of beef sticks.
My number 5 is honey and cheese. Honey and
Not
cheese
bad.
is good. And I think it goes under the radar a little bit where you're like, oh, I wouldn't have thought that would necessarily taste really good. But honey and cheese is amazing.
I think it all depends on the kind of cheese. But yes, I don't disagree with you.
Camembert? It's the only cheese I could think of.
I was like, I don't know what that
cheddar.
means.
Camembert?
Let's see.
Name me the fanciest cheese you can think of right now. Wow me with your cheese knowledge.
I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is Gruyere.
Ooh, that's not bad.
That's a pretty common one, I guess, but it's good.
Havarti.
Havarti does not taste. Have you had Havarti?
I honestly don't even know what it is.
Oh, okay. Of course you don't. It's not very good. In my opinion.
Okay.
Let's see. I don't know why I'm stuttering. Flavor combinations. My number 4, and I'm stuttering because there's so many, and you're gonna kill me for this one. Strawberry and banana.
Oh, I like strawberry and banana. I wouldn't put it on my list because I have a better palate, apparently. But I like strawberry and banana. Strawberry and cream I would put above strawberry and banana, to be honest with you.
I think that's fruit are the best blendable foods, if that makes any sense. Like
they
make
go
the
together
best
well.
Combinations of things.
My number 4 is chips and salsa. You can never go wrong with chips and salsa. It's a flavor combination in my mind.
I guess. I mean, chips are like a bunch of different flavors, but okay.
I'm just thinking of regular like tortilla chips like you get at a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
I have never understood how restaurants afford free chips and salsa. I've never understood that.
It probably costs less than $10 a day to make the salsa, and you can probably get 5 Costco bags of chips. You know what I mean?
Have you ever like started to eat at a restaurant and then just decided like, no, I'm leaving? Like, this isn't very good. I'm not going to order anything.
Not really. I've had that happen to me a couple of times by the opposite sex that we've talked about.
What's your number 3?
Salami and cheese.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking about that right as you started talking. I didn't put it on my list, but I was like, oh, meat and cheese is really good.
Oh, my God. Give me all the meat and all the cheese.
Oh, yeah. Well, I agree. My number 3 is bread and butter. I could live off of bread and butter, and I could be perfectly happy eating nothing but bread and butter. Like, just for dinner, what are you going to have? Just a loaf of bread and butter, and I'd be perfectly happy.
Bread and butter. Attaboy. Well, good for you, man. Maybe you need a little more bread.
I don't know what that was.
Anyways, my number 2, you got to go with this one. It's a staple, but it's just the good old salt and pepper.
Ooh, that's what I have as my number 2 is salt and pepper.
God
What's
dang
your
it.
number 1 then? I bet. Do you think we have the same number 1?
I'm not sure. I hope not, but I guess we'll find out.
Okay.
My number 1 is peanut butter and whipped cream.
Why wouldn't you do peanut butter and jelly? Why would you do peanut butter and whipped cream?
I don't like jelly.
Why would you mix it with whipped cream?
Because it tastes delicious. Oh, it's so good.
So
Put
if
it
you
in the
make a
fridge.
sandwich.
Put it in the fridge. Let the peanut butter get like a little cold. Oh, it's so good. Oh,
Dude,
it's
I
so
tried to
good.
microwave Nutella the other day because I thought that would be a good idea, and I was like, "This is pretty thick. I better
You are
microwave
40 years old. Why are you microwaving Nutella?
it." Oh, it gets better. It gets better.
Okay.
I microwaved it, but so like, if you were gonna microwave Nutella, how long would you be like? You know what? I should microwave this Nutella for this long.
Well, first, I don't think you're supposed to do it in the container. Did you do it in the container?
No. I scooped it out with a spoon. Put it in
Okay.
a dish.
I mean, probably 20 seconds.
I
What'd you do it for?
put it in for 3 minutes.
Oh my!
Oh yeah. It was a mistake. I've never seen a fire in the microwave. I mean, it wasn't on fire, but it was smoking, and it turned hard. Like I thought it would melt it, but it didn't. It went back to like dust. It was weird.
Dude.
I mean, it set off the smoke alarms. The dog was freaking out. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Do you still have anything like that where you just have an idea and for some reason in all your life experience, you just had no idea that was a bad idea? I had no idea microwaving Nutella for 2 minutes or 3 minutes would be a bad idea. Like, that'll probably get it done.
I'm sure I do. I mean, I don't know. Like, I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I'm sure. I'm sure I have.
Okay.
Like,
my number one, like I mentioned, is peanut butter and jelly.
yeah, I just don't like jelly. Like, I get it. It should be on the list, but personally, for me, I just don't like jelly.
How about jam?
No, not really.
Is there
None
a
of them.
difference? I don't know if there's a difference between jelly and jam. Or a preserve.
Yeah, one of them has seeds, I think, and one doesn't or something.
Would you agree, though, that there's like little differences between jellies, jams, and preserves?
Yeah, I'm sure there are finite differences. You know what I mean?
But they're not the same thing in your mind?
No, they're not the same thing.
Just like my phone is not a landline.